Welcome everyone to another episode of VisionAir Talks. Today we have a very special guest, someone whose name is known and respected across the global balloon industry. For many years, she has inspired artists through her incredible creativity, her passion for education, and her dedication to helping others grow. She is not only a talented designer, but also a true leader who has helped shape the professional balloon world as we know it today. Her influence can be seen in classrooms, conventions, competitions, and studios all around the world. It's a real pleasure to have her here with us today to share her story, her journey, and her thoughts on the past, present, and future of our industry. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Sue Bowler. Hi, Sue, how are you?
I'm great, thank you very much. Yeah, really good. Nice sunny day here in the UK. And yeah, feeling good.
That's great. Thank you for agreeing to be a part on this series in the Visionary Talks interviews. I really appreciate it. I know that you are completely busy, but thank you for your time, and it's a great honor for me to make this interview with you.
Oh no, it's really good. Yeah, it's really nice to see you because I haven't seen you for a long time. And no, it's a great pleasure to be here.
By the way, you mentioned that you didn't see me for a long time. I think that the last time I saw you, it was on my CBA exam.
Probably. How long ago was that?
That was was great. Okay, so for starting, I will appreciate if you can say some words about yourself for the ones that not familiar with you.
Okay, so my name's Sue Bowler, formerly Sue Marston Weston. Some people will remember me by that name, but I got married in between. I've been in the industry for over 30 years, in fact, over 35 years now. I ran a home based business for the first few years, and I'm sure we'll talk about some of these things as the interview goes on. But my my career sort of expanded from there, probably around 5 or 6 years into being part of the balloon industry.
Amazing. So let's start from the beginning.
Mhm.
What first got you into the balloon industry, to balloons, and did you ever imagine it can reach the point that it reach now?
No. So the start was when my eldest daughter, who is now 37, was 6 months old. And I literally was just looking for a small venture, something just to keep me um, occupied. I'd always been a career woman. I actually am a professional trainer by trade. And so when I stopped to have my family, it was, quite a transition in my life. But so I soon realized that as much as I didn't want to work full time, I wanted to do something. And balloons was something that I discovered. I mean, back then, we didn't have internet, we didn't have anything, we didn't have mobile phones, we didn't have any of that. I mean, we just literally had to find things, and this was something that I discovered, and thank goodness I did. Did I ever imagine it would lead me to where I am today? Absolutely not. Purely at the time, it was just something just to use my creativity and keep me amused.
So when was the point that you realized it can be more than entertainment, something that more than hobby, a real profession?
Okay, so again, going back to the struggle of setting up a small business during the days when you didn't have the resources that you have today, and I really did find it a struggle to, like so many even people today with all the resources, I really enjoyed the creativity side, but the business side for me was very, new and something that I didn't really understand. Um, but it didn't. To be honest, it didn't take me long to realize that I'd stumbled onto something that I really enjoyed. I found the creativity of it amazing. The what you can do with balloons is limitless. You know, it's just down to you and your skills and your creativity. Um, but I think it probably took me probably around 6 years. I mean, I'm seriously to realize that I'd stumbled into something really special. And that was when I attended my first balloon convention. And that really was incredible and it blew my mind. So that
Wow,
was around
six
like
years.
nine, yeah,
You
6 years.
just practiced and you just playing with balloons, and
Yeah.
then after 6 years you realize it's going to be your actual profession.
Yeah, I mean there was a point probably around 4 years when I wasn't even sure whether I would continue it as a business because I wasn't a business person. I literally was somebody who enjoyed playing with balloons. I didn't understand how to price my work or anything. So I really wasn't making any money. Um, so I was just doing it for the love rather than for the return. And actually the thing that did turn my business around, and I've said this all along, was the QBM program. You know, the QBM program, the Qualitex Balloon Network, back in those days, really took a hobbyist, probably, and I'm probably a good example of somebody who was literally doing it with a growing young family into a business. And it was a revelation once I actually understood how I could actually price my work and just understand more of the business side of it. So it did take me a good 4 to 5 years to really understand that this was going to be a business for me.
Wow, that's truly interesting to see the progress, how you started from playing with balloons from a hobby to something else, and you actually reach something completely else than others in this industry. It's amazing. So you're known for creativity, teaching, and also designing, leadership. What you are most in this kind of uh, profession or industry?
Okay, so the creativity side is obviously the fun side, the side that I absolutely love and used to get so much thrill out of designing a new class and coming up with something a little bit different and unique. But to be honest, I think that the industry's changed so much over the last 5 or 6 years. I think COVID played a huge part in that. And I think a lot of people um, came into the industry because they could. You know, they weren't able to do what they normally would do. They couldn't have any personal contact with people. So if you were, say, a beautician or a nail technician or a face painter or anybody who had that sort of day to day contact with people, you couldn't work, but you could do balloons. And a lot of people realize that. So, what I would say today, what where I my strength is education because I'm sort of on a little bit of a personal mission to try and bring people back to the skills that we had grown up until that point. Because what I did find is that a lot of people who came into the industry didn't have the skills and were learning from people that didn't have the skills. And I think it had a bit of a, to be honest, a derogatory effect on the industry. So today, my role is through Bapier and through my blog is to try and improve people's knowledge again, bring those skills back to where they were, and obviously and growing them from there. So really, education, I think.
You know, I'm thinking about education. There was a lot of education materials back then. I remember my CBA exam and other tutorials that we had there, how to choose the right colors, the principles, and um, uh, um, the principles of balloons, and I can see today. I'm seeing a lot of new artists or
Mhm.
balloonists that are not sticking to any rule, and they are just making balloons. What do you think about this?
Um, I don't, I think all industries have got the same situation. I mean, the forestry industry is in the same position as we are, for sure. I've had conversations with them. Um, I think, I think it's sad. I think that to a degree, you know, the rules, the elements and principles of design are a very strong factor for any design industry, whether you are a florist, a balloon artist, an interior designer, anybody. And those are the rules and the foundations that we should all work towards because they make sense. I look at people's work today, and sometimes I look at somebody's work and be in absolute awe of what I'm seeing. And then equally, I can look at somebody's work and think they have no clue. They have no understanding about the use of color, the how to create rhythm in a design, how to create a big visual impact. So it does worry me. It concerns me greatly because I do think that that could have a detrimental impact on the industry as a whole.
Hmm. That's really interesting. Um, you know, the balloon industry changed a lot on this time and from the past. Um, what do you miss from the past, and what excites you more about now?
Okay, well, I'm going to be very honest. What I really miss is Qualitex. Um, for lots of reasons. I miss Qualitex as a brand. I think the brand was fantastic. But I also miss the people that were behind Qualitex. I worked with Qualitex for many years as a freelancer in education. And I just loved their commitment to the industry. I loved what they did. We had the QBN network, we had Images magazines, we had fantastic resources on the website. I mean, just the whole package was all about helping to grow balloon artists and their creativity and their skills and their knowledge. So everything that we did, I see people today still not truly understanding how much work people went to do their CBA exam. I think a lot of people just thought, oh, it was nothing. It was a lot of work. And back in the day when I did it, I did 5 papers, and I recently found them all and thought, gosh, it was a lot of work. It was definitely, but it changed me. It changed my business. It made me successful. So I really do miss Qualitex. I think that there are a lot of new balloon companies and manufacturers who are, they're all vying for the same business. I don't think any of them. I think there's a few who are trying to offer the support that Qualitex did, and for that I'm really grateful. I think that's really good. But I think there's also a lot that aren't. They're just about selling balloons, which, okay, that's fine, but we are a niche small industry. We've got a lot of new blood in it. We need to help and support those people, and it really really should, in my opinion, come from the manufacturers, with the aid of people like myself who are more than happy to be working on stuff like that. I think exciting for the future. I think I'm not sure I'm going to say excited. I think the future has got its difficulties. I think environmentally, we need to be very aware of the impact of balloons on the environment, and I think that we should all be way more aware of our environmental responsibilities. I did a blog post recently about greenwashing, and I don't know if you have heard that term, but greenwashing is huge, and it is actually illegal now to say things that you can't substantiate, you can't prove, so we can't say anymore that balloons are biodegradable because they're not
Biodegradable, yeah.
always biodegradable. They can be in certain conditions, but if they go into the sea, they will not biodegrade. So, we do all have to be very aware of of all of us of the impact that we make on the environment, and that will help us to grow a stronger industry for the future. We need to be aware of that. We can't just ignore that. So excited. I'm going to hold back on that one because I've got more concerns than excitement at the moment.
But first about Qualitex, I can't agree more. I think Qualitex brought to our industry the foundations of what can we and we cannot do with balloons. And I really miss this product, the quality of the balloons, and of course the the how you say it, combining all of us together to like bounding all the balloon artists together. And I think this is something that I really miss too, with one company that will connect us all together. So thank you for saying that. And about the future, or now the present, um, I'm doing balloon exhibitions, and all of the time when we dealing with a new location or a new exhibit, we need to think about the environment, because we are not dealing just with balloon artists. We are dealing with the real public, the non-balloon artists, and a lot of them trying to be environmentals friendly, and they are pushing us uh, to learn and be educated about the environment. Sorry, and um, you're right. It's actually I can't agree more that we can't say the biodegradable thing, because the balloon didn't pass test that they should pass, but um, when we are using latex balloons, we can be sure that the 100% latex balloon, we can be sure that they are not biodegradable, but they are kind of environment friendly. And the real issue about what you said, I think it's the helium point. When we release balloon to the air and they will reach to the sea, this is the real problem. Uh, if we just inflating a balloon with air, I think that the problem is much less than to helium inflated it.
No, I do agree with you. I mean, even if balloons, latex balloons, go into landfill, they will biodegrade. They are that's probably the perfect environment for them to be in, because with all the composting around them, it will help accelerate the process. And you're right, balloon releases we should just definitely not happen. And they are definitely bad for everything. They're not just bad for going into the sea. It's it's the damage that they can cause to the wildlife and to nature. It is rubbish, basically. It is trash. And unfortunately, it's not just latex balloons we're talking about. We're talking about plastic balloons. We're talking about foil balloons, mylar balloons. And we just need to think a little bit more. We don't need to just ignore it. It's something that needs to be thought about, and we're all responsible for that. Me, you, everybody. And if all of us did one thing that could help, then that's a big step towards improving the situation. And think we have to just be more aware and more conscious of what we're actually doing.
I can't agree more. You put the pin on the point, and I hope that all our viewers and all the balloon artists will listen and will understand that this is an important issue when dealing with balloons, and try not to use plastics balloons or foils as much as you can. Of course, if you will need,
Or reuse them, or
do it
reuse
wisely.
them. Yeah, just don't get me wrong. I am not anti balloons at all. I love balloons. Balloons has put me in the career that I've loved for the last 35 plus years. So I'm not decrying balloons at all. I'm just saying let's think about them. Let's not, I am dreadful. If I've got an inflated balloon in my studio, that balloon never gets trashed. It gets left forever, and then I'll let it down, and then I'll reuse it. If I can. If I don't use it for that, I'll use it for something else. I always just try and think of what else can I do with it before, the very last resort is to put anything into trash, for sure. It's what else can we do? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get people to think about things. Can they donate them to a school that could use them for crafts? We did a project last year where the balloons went to an artist who is working on a piece where she's going to reuse them in an artistic form. It's just trying to find something, another way of using that product. So that's all I'm saying. Just
That's
just
really
just think.
important. Of course,
Mm.
that's really,
So
really important.
not anti balloons, not anti foils, not anti anything. Just want to see them just a little bit more thought being used before we
I mean,
we we just
don't
put
worry.
it.
I'm not suspecting that you are anti-balloons at all.
Not at all. Not at all. It's
Okay,
just
so
my concern. That's all.
yeah, yeah, of course. Okay, so you taught many artists worldwide.
Mhm.
Um, so what 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 is the mistakes that you see with balloon artists today that they are doing it that trying to grow professionally, but they are doing a lot of mistakes. What is the mistakes that you think artists doing when they trying to grow?
Okay. Again, that's a great question because I think if I was starting again today, I would try and not to take on balloons as a whole picture. I think that, a lot of the training that I'm seeing by various different people is these huge installations, these organic sort of, pieces that extend for an entire room, which I think looks very impactful and can look fun, but it's not what I would consider to be somebody's day to day business. And I think if somebody comes into the industry and goes on a course where that is what they're learning, I think they're going to realize very, very quickly that that's not what the average customer wants. So I think that if somebody's coming into the industry today, think very carefully about what area of the balloon industry is going to work for you. Are you going to be a delivery company? Are you going to work on a particular type of balloons? There is the Bobo balloons, which is something that I've never really experienced until recently. And I see people running businesses who solely create designs using Bobos, putting gifts inside. That is a business in its own right. If you become really proficient and an expert in that field, you don't need to expand into, all the massive decor, or it might be that you want to be a corporate decorator, and therefore that's the avenue. So I think the mistakes that people are making is that they think of the balloon industry as a whole, but it's like any industry. There are different areas within the industry that they could specialize in and become really proficient and an expert in that field and do extremely well.
I can't agree more about that because, there are a lot of jealousy in our industry when we see balloon artists that's making large scale balloon decors, and the other doing is really good at twisting. And we know we want to conquer all. We want to be like him, and we want to be like him. And I think this is a good advice, great advice. Concentrate on your profession, on your ability. Don't
Mhm.
try to conquer others until you can, but until you reach the point that you are one of the best, then you can start and wide your knowledge. But if not, concentrate because this is the real success point. If you will learn all the time, all the time we need to learn and to educate ourselves in what we are doing in twisting. Or there is a balloon artist, I interviewed her, Ash Owens. She is concentrating on balloon dresses, and this is really unique because she started from simple dresses and now she's making something completely else with different technique, and this is something important, and thank you for saying that.
No, it's so true. If I mean, literally, if I started again tomorrow, I would. I know exactly what I would do, and it would not be big decor. It would be something very small, very much my styley, very niche, um, and gift orientated for sure.
Mhm. Uh, so my next question is about yourself personally. Many artists knows you professionally, but a lot of them know you personally. What values helped you stay successful all of these years in this industry?
Um, I think just staying true to who you are, being the person that you are is was really important for me. Um, um, just really, I mean, I'm very passionate about the balloon industry. I care about it greatly. I care about the work that I produce and the people that I work with. So yeah, I just love being part of a great organization. I mean, working, as I said before, working with the Qualitex team was wonderful. Always very great people to work with, and they gave me lots of amazing opportunities over the years. But no, just just being who I am, just staying true to myself, and just love. I used to love meeting when I traveled all the time. Just love meeting new people, spending time with them, learning about their skills, and just enjoyed sharing what I had. I mean, I never ever ever considered myself to be the best because I certainly wasn't. I just enjoyed being part of something great and part of and being an educator because teaching was always my passion from a very young age. So just being able to put my love of balloons with the knowledge of teaching together was the perfect career for me. So no, that's me really.
That's amazing because um, when you giving to others, you get back all the time. When you educate others, you educate yourself, and this is amazing.
Yeah, no, it is. It's you learn from. I mean, gosh, I would learn every time I traveled anywhere. I would learn something new. Whether it be a technique or just anything really. Just some ideas. I mean, and it was in the early days when we didn't have social media. It was even more exciting because you could come up with a great class where you could share, really nice things, and you would just that design would just morph into another design and grow. But latterly, when social media became such a big thing, literally as the minute you showed something in a class, it was on social media, and it was like poof, it's gone. It made it harder, a lot harder, but I managed to cope with that, I have to say.
Yeah, I can't imagine to be in this industry at the past when we didn't have the phones and cameras to take shots. Everything lost after you you build it, you can't see it anymore. It's crazy. Yeah.
It really is crazy. But there you go. That's but it kept me on my toes for sure. And I came to the conclusion that even if people had seen what I was teaching, that didn't matter because if they came to the class anyway, it meant that they were going to be inspired, and that was even probably a little bit more rewarding as well. So no, it was great.
Definitely. Okay, so when you designing something, what comes first on your mind? The emotion that you want the viewers to feel, the colors, the emotion, the nature. Sorry, what comes first?
Okay, so I don't really do that much decor these days or designing, but I still do things. I mean, recently we had our um, celebration and party expo, Cap Expo, and I was very much in charge of designing stuff for the entranceway and for our stand, the Bapia stand. And I suppose for me, my thought process was that the people that were attending this show, and I suppose this is the thought process of anybody, regardless of whether it's an industry event or a public event, what emotion do you want them to feel when they come? And so my feeling was that anybody who was coming to a trade show that was balloon related would want to be given a bit of wow factor. So color was really important to me. It was color and shape and just that immediate impact when people arrive. So yeah, I think that I really love color, and just really strong impact, really. I want people to have the wow factor, really.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I agree that colors are really important. Of course, the new colors. It's not new now, but the new colors that we had back then with Qualitex, the chrome colors that changed our industry completely from side to side. It's amazing. Yeah, colors are definitely important. Thing
Yeah.
when we started design and also emotions. Yeah, it's really important what the viewers will feel when they will see the design. Yeah.
You want them to feel excited. So to create excitement, you've got to do something. It can't be just an arch. It has to be an arch that's got a bit of wow factor to it. What else can we add? What products can we use? What shapes? So that's really my thought process there.
Yeah, lately I discovered that balloons can impress emotion from side to side, from sadness to happiness. I had an interview with DJ Moro, and he designing dark. Kind of dark designs, and it's amazing to see his work and his designs, how he impressed himself, his emotions
Mm.
inside the balloons, and not just what the viewers should see. It's also what the designer, the balloon artist, will express with the
Mhm.
design itself.
Very much so.
Yeah. So if a new balloon artist, a fresh one, wants to grow in our industry, what is your offer to him? What you will suggest him?
Um, I suppose, where do you want to grow? Do you want to grow in terms of being the best in your town or city? Or do you want to be recognized across the wider industry? If it's to be like the best you want to be in your local town, then obviously you've got to be the best that you can possibly be. You've got to be consistent. You've got to be creative. You've got to be reliable. You've got to be all those things, and you've got to build up a very good reputation on the back of that. If you want to stand out and grow within the industry, you've got to do something that makes you stand out. So you've got to decide how best to do that. I mean, in my day, back in the day, I used to enter competitions, because that was the best way for you to be acknowledged, amongst your peers. Competitions are not so easy these days. There aren't so many events that have competitions. So I suppose these days you've just got to be that person that inspires others. Um, But you've got to also decide what pays the bills, because you could be somebody who inspires people greatly in the industry, but that won't necessarily generate you an income, unless maybe a brand picks you up and decides that you could work for them. But even today, I don't see many brands using the same people over and over again. They tend to move around and use different people. So it's a difficult one, really. I think being good at what you do, if you want to grow a business and be the best you can be, then it's your, your market is your customers, your town, your people around you. But it doesn't hurt to be known in the industry. And I think that, you know, you can stand out, but you have to work very hard these days to do that. There isn't the natural way that there was in the past.
I
Does
think
that make sense?
also, yeah, of course. I think that the first part that he said about if you want to be as good as you can on your profession, it depends on the artist himself. He can practice a lot and a lot, and he will reach there. But to the other side, if you want to be acknowledged um, uh, on our industry, it depends a lot on the surrounding, on the artists themselves, on the companies or the brands or whatever. So it's really a point where you need to decide what is your focus. It's all about
Mm,
focus, focusing
mm,
on one thing. And yeah, I think you are completely right. If you want to be the best of the best, just concentrate on being the best. Don't hear jealousy and don't take attention to what other will say. Um, just the ones that will make you be good and approve you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's like with you, but particularly in the UK and probably in other countries where the word influencer is very much used these days. And we certainly have a number of influencers in the UK who became influencers during the COVID period, um, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I actually, I admire them greatly. I wouldn't have wanted to do what they've done in terms of the commitment that they've had to make to the social media, if you get my drift. I mean, they are literally on it 24/7, and that is a huge commitment. What I think is quite sad is that the people who aspire to be the same as them, and that so they are desperate to get the followers, but are not growing a business on the back of it. It's just purely putting out content to get followers and not to grow their businesses. And I think that that's quite sad. And I think that that's where people are probably, they need to probably reevaluate. I mean, I see every so often, I see somebody say something like, I'm stepping away from social media for a while. It's all become too much. And I can see that. I'm sure there is such a thing as social media burnout. So I think that, people can do their thing and do it well.
Yeah, I agree with you about that. The influencer, for me, I feeling that they are lowering the um, um, the quality of our industry, our designs, because they are like doing uh, not so unique things, and they are focusing on getting a lot of followers. And for me, as an artist, it's really affecting our industry, our level of our industry. But it's good to know that we have the best artists in the world that will all the time they will trying to invent a new design or a new technique that will push the boundaries of our industry. And our industry is so complex, and we don't have just the influencer.
No,
So that's good.
very good.
Yeah. So after so many years in the industry, do you have design that you would really wanted to create?
Not a design. No, I would definitely say not a design. My only aspiration, I think now, is to basically maybe document my journey in the balloon industry, and not just document my journey. Not I mean, in the terms of maybe writing a book. Um, it wouldn't be a book about me. It would be a book about touching on my journey, but how somebody else could set up their own balloon business and maybe share some really solid information that would help them grow. And it just encompass everything that I feel that would help them grow as a good business, with a little bit of me involved in it. That's something I keep thinking about, but I do know that when I start that, I'm going to get so engrossed in it that nothing nothing else will happen. So it's definitely on my list, but it might be a year or so away from that. Next year is my year for me, I've decided.
I think you should write a book. You have
Mm,
to write a book. It will help a lot to our industry, and also it will be a significant thing for you uh,
mm.
in this industry. I don't think we have in our industry a book of an artist like you that actually put all of her experience inside his book.
I mean, I don't know. My blog is still working, going really well. I don't know if you saw, but I actually hit 4 million views last week, and which
Wow,
was
amazing.
incredible. I mean, 4 million is just doesn't really, bear thinking about in some respects. And what's even more bizarre is that today that the posts are even busier than they were back in the day. So I just think that the number of links that people have and the number of return visitors is just growing and growing and growing. I mean, I can get 40,000 page views in 1 month, on various different topics. There's no particular topic that, there are some topics that grow, stand out more than others, but it's not like they're not design ones or they're not pricing ones. They are just completely across the board. Which that's going back to the book. That's what I want to be able to take my nearly 600 blogs and push them into one little book, which could be quite interesting. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure I'll find a way.
I'm sure of that. You have a great future in front of you, I think, about that. Um, Speaking about future, um, on the future, on the next years, uh, what do you want people to, when they will hear Sue Baller name? What do you think? What do you want them? What do you hope they will remember in the future?
I would hope that people will remember me as somebody who cared deeply about this industry. It's been such a major part of my life. Um, and I can honestly say that I've never had a bad day. I absolutely love, love, love this industry with a passion. Don't get me wrong, there are sometimes it's been a little frustrating, but I really, really do love this industry. And I also care about the people who I've met and supported over the years. And I hope that people can fondly look back and think, oh, I went to one of Sue's classes or I read one of Sue's blogs and it really helped me. It helped me on my journey. They've become more confident as the back of it. So really, yeah, I'd like to think that I'd like to be remembered for being somebody who cares and shared knowledge and just just remember me for who I am really.
That's really, really amazing to hear. Um, we are at the end of this interview, and uh, I want first to thank you for being a significant part of my life, my part in this industry. Like I said, you passed me the CBA exam and inspired me a lot.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being an inspiration for the entire industry. Thanks a lot for this interview. I really honored that you here and you actually agreed to this interview. Thank you a lot. Uh, yeah, and
Great.
I wishing you the best, and I wish that I will see you soon and we will work together maybe.
That would be amazing. But no, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I really do. I do enjoy sharing my time and a little bit of my background. So thank you. I appreciate it. And it's good to
Thank
see you.
you too. Thank you very much. Have a great day,
It's my
great
pleasure.
week, and a great year.
Thank you very much, Gabby. Nice to see you.
Thank you for being part of this conversation. I really hope you enjoyed it. Here on VisionAir, we don't just talk about balloons. We talk about vision, courage, creativity, and the people who turn imagination into reality. So if this story inspired you, make sure to follow, subscribe, and stay connected. More episodes, more journeys, and more inspiration are coming soon. I'm Kobe, and this is VisionAir. See you in the next episode.